Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. Today I have my June Book of the Month unboxing, so let's check it out and see what's inside. Here we go. This is how it arrives when you open the box. It says, "You've got great taste." This was my choice for the June Book of the Month. This is The Lies I Tell by Julie Clark, and this is a thriller. The quick take on this one is this twisty cat and mouse story will have you ripping through the pages to find out who the true con woman is. I feel like this is going to be a quick read. It is under 300 pages, so cannot wait to start this one. Next in the box, we have Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier. This is also another choice for the June Book of the Month. Each month you can choose one book of the month, and then you can add on 2 add-ons for an additional fee. You can choose another Book of the Month choice, or they have a ton of other add-ons to choose from on the website. For the Book of the Month choices for June, there were 2 thrillers, and I could not decide which one to get, so I grabbed both of them. So the quick take on this one: caught in the paparazzi's glow after her husband's murder, Paris Perlotta quickly learns all that glitter isn't gold. I'm going to have a thrilling June with 2 thrillers to read, so be sure to subscribe so when I do my unboxing next month, I'll let you guys know which one of these I enjoyed the most. The other choices for June are The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah, and this one is a fantasy. A contemporary fiction called The Lifestyle by Taylor Hahn. A literary fiction called Woman of Light by Kali Fanjardo Onstein. And the last one is a historical fiction called The Wedding Dress Sewing Circle, and this one is by Jennifer Ryan. Last in my box is one more add-on. This one is called The Hotel Nantucket, and this is by Elin Hilderbrand. And I don't know if I've ever read any books by this author. I know a lot of people love her. And the quick take on this one is, in this new charmer from the modern master of beach reads, a plucky manager tries to teach an old hotel new tricks. So this one seems just like a fun, easy, light read for the summer. If you love Elin Hilderbrand, let me know in the comments below which one of her books you love the most, because if I love this one, I may try out some of her other books. And last but not least, at the bottom of my box, the bookmark. You'll never guess what happens next. Those were my books for the month of June. I think the month of May was one of my favorite Book of the Month boxes so far. I ordered 3 books and I loved all of them. The book of the month I chose for May was called Breathless by Amy McCullough, and I loved this book. I loved it because I love hiking. I love movies and documentaries about Mount Everest. In this book, the main character attempts to climb Manaslu, which is the 8th highest peak in the world, and she is climbing it because she is trying to get an exclusive interview with a famous mountaineer. But once she gets on the mountain, some people start dying, and this one is a page turner. I loved it cover to cover. Sometimes in books like these, I get disappointed in the ending, but I love this book all the way through. It was so interesting to read. The author really did climb this mountain, so it's so interesting to go back and look at her Instagram photos and Insta stories. So I'm a big fan of Amy McCullough now. I think most of her other books are young adult. I hope she writes another one similar to Breathless. I loved it, and I highly recommend it. The next book I read in May was by Colleen Hoover, It Ends With Us. I read Verity a few months ago and have been listening to all of the hype about Colleen Hoover, so I had to check this one out. And it was well written. It was a great book, but the storyline does revolve around abuse. So if that's a trigger for you, I don't recommend it, but it was well written and I definitely want to read more Colleen Hoover books. The last book I read for the month of May was Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. And this was another great read. The main character in this book, Elizabeth Zott, is a chemist in the 1960s, and she eventually became the star of a cooking show. And it just kind of follows her life and shows you how she ended up from being a chemist to a cooking show host, and kind of all the things that were unfolding in her life. I thought it was a really interesting read. It was fiction, but it is a good reminder to show us how far women have come. And the last book I read for the month of May was a young adult book. This was not a book of the month. This one was called One of Us Is Next by Karen McManus. And for the month of April, I read One of Us is Lying. So this is the sequel. In this book, another student dies. Now the Baytown Four from One of Us is Lying, they are kind of adjacent characters. They're not the main characters, but they're still in this book. So we have 4 new main characters and another death and another mystery to unravel. So this one is really good. Not as good as the original, but I highly recommend it. That was everything in my June Book of the Month box. Let me know in the comments below what you are reading. And if you have an unboxing of your Book of the Month, please leave that as well. I would love to watch it. I do have a coupon code if you're interested in trying Book of the Month. I'll have that information in the description below. And that's it. As always, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe.